Hi and welcome to the channel, and thanks for stopping by. Regulars will recall somewhere down here I built a 2 meter portable antenna. There we go, simple and effective 2 meter antenna. It was a sleeveless sleeve dipole, or more commonly known as flower pot antenna. And if I just pull that video up now, here you can see it's a fiberglass whip supporting some coax feed. There's an air wound coax choke and a very simple vertical whip. It doesn't require a ground plane or radials. So that's a 2 meter version, and I quite fancied making one for HF. So let's see how I get on. So to get to the HF dimensions, I used my 2 meter version, and here you can see how I convert the 145-500 into 2.06 meters using the calculator online. There's lots of calculators, and it uses the speed of light as a constant to convert those two figures. So my antenna was 920 millimeters long, and that was a percentage of that 2.06, 44.66%. So that was the ratio I needed to apply for the HF versions. Now my initial thoughts were to make a 20 meter version. You can see here 14.25 megahertz, nicely in the SSB portion of the band. That would mean an antenna of 9.395 meters. The idea is to use this on the back of the car with a floor standing DX commander pole. Now I've got to allow for the car to get the antenna clear, so a 939 length antenna would have about 1.5 meters off the top of the pole, so that would need to be folded down slightly or angled off to one side. So what I decided to do was work on a 15 meter antenna, and here you can see 21300 is actually 14.07 meters. Not all of that band is 15 meters, and 40.07 times by that ratio of 4466 gives me an antenna of 6283. So each half needs to be 3.14 meters in length. So just like with the 2 meter antenna, we're using this RG58 Webro coax. It was a 50 meter roll, getting down now on all the projects it's been used on. So for 15 meters, as we saw, I now need a 6.3 length of this. So first of all, I'm going to bear off 3.14 meters of center conductor, and that'll be the top of the antenna, and then we can do the braid and then the choke and so on. So first thing is to measure 3.14 meters. So with the outer jacket removed, it's just a case now of using some side cutters just to nip away this braid and then remove this braid from the inner sheath. And then it's a case of concertinaing up the braid and working your way along. There, so after a bit of effort you can get it all off, and then we've got the length of inner conductor unaffected, and that leads all the way down to the braid. So that's the top half and this is the bottom half. We're still on the roll, and that's the key thing about this, to allow for your measurements and your choke. Just start with your free run of coax and just keep working your way down. So now I need to measure the other half down this side, 3.14 again. So I've weighted that end down. You can see the top half of the antenna on the floor, and all the way down here, and I've marked 314 with some red tape. So that marks the base of the antenna. So that's where the choke needs to start, either air wound or around a ferrite. I'll tell you what, it's glorious out here, mid-November. Right, chokes. We've got two options. We can wind round a ferrite, and this is a FT240 43, so 240 is the size, 43 is the type of mix, and this is a good mix for the higher HF bands, so great for 15 meters. And I need 12 turns of RG58 around this choke. You could make an air wound choke, which would be 7 turns of RG58 round a 4¼ inch former, so something like a paint tin, so 7 turns around that. The ferrite will be better at choking, and is a better choke overall for different bands, although we're making a single band antenna. So I'm going to go with this. So I know I need about 1 metre for the choke itself, or 1 metre of coax, and then I'm going to leave a 2 metre run for the end of the antenna to get down to the car. So I need about 3 metres from the end of where we've marked the length of the antenna, that 3.14 mark. So I'll cut the coax and then wind the choke. So you can see I've cable tied the start, that's the end of the antenna, that red mark. So I'm going to need 12 turns, so 5 round one side, through the middle is number 6, and then 6 round the other side and then back out again. So there you can see halfway, so we've got 5 turns, every pass through the middle is a turn, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this turn, if I can get the coax, apologies if the camera wobbles, so this turn goes through the middle again, but this time out the other side. So this way we have a choke where the start and end are opposite each other. So there's number 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then back round for my other 6 turns and then out the bottom. So that's the finished choke. 12 turns, so we've got 5, 1 through the middle, that counts as number 6, and then the other 6, and that's it like that. And I'll attach I haven't checked yet, I hope I've got a PL259, I'll put a PL259 compression fitting on there. And that's a 10 metre choke that goes on the 5/8. That looks like that's 5 turns on a 4 1/4 inch former. So that was for the, in fact that's for the 10 metre mini horse, which is a great antenna. 3 LE short boom folded Yagi. So that's an example of an air wound choke, so I have done them, and that's an example of a ferrite choke. Now for the plug, the PL259. And don't forget, put the ends of your plug on before you start soldering. Hands up if you made that mistake before. Right, so plug's on, I haven't waterproofed it yet, we're just doing some tests, so I'm going to attach a pole to the car with the antenna just loosely attached, and we'll do some tests to see how much it needs trimming. Right, so I've moved the car away from the house so there's less interaction. I've got the DX Commander Expedition pole through the towing eye, that'll be tied to that tyre. There's the choke, there's the antenna just loosely attached. I could use the Signature 9 pole, Calendar's a Signature 9, which is a stiffer pole and freestanding, so that might be a better option. I tried to get some tubing to fit through there to support it, but that was easier said than done. So tying to the tyre, so here we are. Let's have a look if I can do this without dropping everything. So this is live, bear with me, I'll try and put that there. Right, so we need to be on that range. There you go, you can see that, right? Fingers crossed. I'm on 21.3. Right, so that's not only is it high, it's 1.7 SWR, it's 21.8. You can see there the readings, got reactance going on as well. So it needs trimming first to bring down, and then we'll see what happens with the SWR once we're down to 21.3. So I'm going to take a bit off. I'll decide what I do when I take it down, how much to cut. Yep, that was it. Mistake number 2. Mistake number 1, it'll be apparent in a second, but mistake number 2, I started trimming the antenna. God knows why. It was too short, it needed to be longer. So I started cutting centimetre at a time off. Completely the wrong thing to do. Mistake number 1 was cutting it exact to start with. I don't know why I didn't allow for a bit of error and then trim down. So 2 mistakes in one go there. So I've trimmed a centimetre off the base and just cut off the braid. So that end of the antenna, the base, is a centimetre shorter, which now means that top end is a centimetre longer than it was. So it's not just a case of taking 1 centimetre off the top, because that gets you back where you started. You need to take 2 centimetres off. So 1 off this end, 2 off that end, and we'll see how that goes. Right, so this is 1 centimetre off both the top and bottom sections, so this should go down and it goes up. Right, so here we are, take 2. And what I've done is I've let some coax out the choke. So just above the coax you'll see the original red marker. So I've gone back to basics and started again. So at 3, 2, 3 both sides. So it's a new starting position, and you'll see if I turn this on, apologies, it's all one-handed. So if I find that dip, so there, 21, that's exactly where I wanted to be. So the top of the band, which is I think 450, something like that, still 1.7, and going down the band 1.7, 1.8 right at the bottom. So the SSB and the majority of the band is 1.7, so I can tune that out. I don't want to start playing around with making the antenna different lengths on different sides to see if I can factor out that reactance, but I think I'll leave it like that and then do some on-air tests. Right, so we're plugged in down to the antenna. So we're on CW, top end of the band, 100 watts. So we go on to SWR, come out of that. So SWR reading, right, so there's 1.5, so that's really low. So we'll go down to the bottom of the band, so SWR, so that scale there will change from a signal to a SWR scale, just above 1. Just above 1, this is just a brief CW transmission, flat, flat, flat. So the rig's really happy, so I'm pleased with that. So 1.7 the analyzer, I haven't got that much coax loss coming to the rig, so yeah, the rig's definitely happy, so it will give out the full 100 watts. So back onto SSB, let's go through the band and see what we've got. I think I've picked a quiet day.
CQ50, CQ50, India Kilo 4, Bravo Papa Victor, India Kilo 4, Bravo Papa Victor.
India Kilo 4, Bravo Papa Victor, this is Golf 0, Charlie November, November Portable.
Golf 0, Charlie November, November Portable. Good afternoon. Your report is 5 and 5. Hope that you have a good copy of my station. Golf 0, my name is Mauricio, sorry, or Maurice in English. Ian, Golf 0, Charlie, November, November, India Kilo 4, Bravo Papa Victor.
Roger, Maurizio, nice to work you, I think for the first time. You're lovely 5.9 with me, 5.9 with me.
The propagation is better from United Kingdom and Northern Europe than from on the long distance, you know. There is even a good propagation from Greece. Now there are no stations, you know, on the band.
And as you say, the band is very quiet. There's a lot of people chasing a Kenyan station further down the band, but they're weak on me. But nice to get you in the long Mauricio. Nice station at your end, and thank you for coming back to the call to test out this station. I'm sure it'll work again. IK4BPV G0 CNN portable 73 Mauricio.
Yes, QSL. Yes, well, your antenna is working very well. I don't know if it's...
This is the frequency that the Kenyan station's on. Is very quiet and there's lots of people calling.
Okay, Italy, November 3, Bravo, Japan United, 59 in North Italy. Thank you.
So he's very, very weak. You can just make him out.
My station, beautiful signal, good modulation. Ciao.
And lots of people calling him. I'll put out the CQ, but conditions obviously poor at the moment on 15, but we'll see how we get on. Golf 0 Charlie November portable, calling CQ and standing by. Hotel Bravo 9 Hotel Zulu Hotel, I think that was. Thanks for coming back to call. My name is Ian, India Alpha November Ian, and I'm just parked up working portable with an antenna on the back of the car. I don't think we've worked before. I'll give you a signal report on your next over. Hotel Bravo 9 Hotel Zulu Hotel, I think it was. Golf 0 Charlie November portable.
You're doing a very good job with your antenna mounted on your car. It works very well. Your G57 in Switzerland, very good, understandable, and loud and clear signal from your side.
The band seems to be fading a bit between us. Nice to work you, Chris, and I'm sure we'll work again. HB9HZAH G0 CNN portable. Thank you, and 73. Calling CQ and standing by. No, quiet band, as I say. So yeah, well, initial tests it works. So, and I am sandwiched between houses, so not the best of places. The idea is I'll get neither sea with this antenna, and because it doesn't require any radials, I can just park up and have a good sized antenna and get as close to the sea as I can. Whereas in car parks and the like, sometimes you just can't lay radials down. So hoping for some better tests. I'm signing portable because, in my view, if you can't drive off, you're not mobile. If I had an antenna on the roof and I was parked up, I'd be mobile, but I can't drive off clearly. So yeah, initial tests, it definitely works. I need to get out and about and try it out in the wild rather than sat in front of the house. And just back in the shack to confirm the band is, well, it's dropping off now. It was as noisy, it's still quite high, and there's not much going on, so not the best of days, but at least comparable with the vertical. Right, so this is a postscript. I've lashed the antenna to the wheelie bin. It's bin day. I've got a run of Hyperflex 13, so it shouldn't affect the SWR at these frequencies. And I've just done a test, and it's 1.5, so I'm happy with that. I was just this because I thought they're 1.5 at 3, 21.3. I just thought I was measuring it right underneath the antenna, and I might actually be in the RF field. So I've used a decent run of coax, which won't affect the SWR, so that's a good reading. So I'm happy with that. I'm glad I did that test. That's why the radio was happy in the car. This channel is all about simple, practical projects and operating. If you like and subscribe, it helps the channel and you'll also be notified of new videos when they're released. Thanks for watching.